problem is, when pressure begins to build called life, because life is going to bring you ups and downs and mountains and valleys. And I'm sure some of you in here, your backstory is full of ups and downs and good days and bad days. I bet some of you in here, your backstory is full of a lot more difficulties and some traumas and some things it's hard for others to comprehend. And for some of you, it hasn't been the roughest or the most difficult, but yet still at times, you still find this void of you wanting to belong and where do you fit in?
And that we can choose to surrender or we can choose to take a stand and fight. And there are a lot of people who fight who are still here. There are people who fight and who go, but at least they go out fighting. They didn't just surrender. They didn't just throw in the towel on themselves. And I'm saying there is something in us. There's a power and an energy that's in us that we owe it to ourselves to take on anything, dis-ease in the body, poverty, opposition, whatever is between that and which we desire and we feel that will give us a full and rich life, we should fight for it. And you just got to decide that my life is worth this kind of effort. And fight with everything in you, night and day, with every breath that you have.
We want a great life. That's what we want. Now, what prevents us? How do we block ourselves from having that? There are several things that happen, ladies and gentlemen. Once you think about whatever it is that you have desired, whatever that you think that will give your life a sense of meaning and purpose and direction, whatever you think will give you a sense of fulfillment, I just want you to think about this. I want you to think about this year coming up, this year that we're now in. I want you to look at the future, and I want you to think about pursuing a dream. Working on creating and building and choosing a different kind of future. I'm going to get a goal. I'm going to get a dream. I'm going to have a vision of myself that will take me out of my comfort zone. Something that, as you look at it, somebody might say, that's impossible.
Our experiences, our past results have told us our current reality, beginning to know that this is not it, that we are always involved in either creating reality or buying into the reality that we see. So we begin to learn how not to judge according to appearances, as we begin to, with everything in us, tenaciously to pull down the strongholds on our minds and do maintenance work to make sure that those negative thoughts and that automatic mind doesn't creep in on us again, so we're worrying about or beginning to only focus on and see the obstacles and the limitations as opposed to the solutions of the possibilities. As we work on ourselves constantly, what we will find is that we become at one or in alignment with the universe, and we are able to produce what appear to be miracles to most people. But it's only a perfect outworking of the law when we are working in harmony with the universe. Our circumstances do not determine us. They're only a reflection of what we've become. The key to it is beginning to continue to have a vision of what you want to create, of constantly working with your feelings and your energy, keeping it positive, and engaging in actions and having things where the pictures, scriptures, music, friends, relationships, goals that challenge you and feed into you and create this new reality for yourself. Because as you continue to hold that in focus, as you continue to charge that with words and sell yourself on your having it, acting as if it already is, when you finally get that feeling, hit that level of consciousness, it will manifest.
Stop running from the potential of what you can be, guys. It's inside of you. It's always been there. Grab a buddy of yours. Say, man, me and you are gonna fucking do this together. And you're gonna be on my ass if I start slacking. I'm gonna be on your ass if I start slacking. And I'll never accept mediocre again. I'm always gonna give you my 110 fucking %. That's the only thing I can ever say solid day's work. That's all that will ever find peace in. If you guys do not do that, I promise you, your life will haunt you for the rest of your days. If there's potential inside of you, which you know is there, but you're too scared to tell anyone else about it, and you go on and on, get older and older and older and older, and the windows of opportunity start to close. That fact that you have the ability to do something and you're too weak to fucking turn the key and start the engine on it is a greater disappointment and a greater burden to carry than any of this physical sweat equity or pain in the gym or sacrifice. All that is just nothing compared to a life where you're burdened by regret, guys.
I found that nothing in life is worthwhile unless you take risks. Nothing. Nelson Mandela said, "There is no passion to be found playing small and settling for a life that's less than the one you're capable of living." Now, I'm sure in your experiences in school and applying to college and picking your major and deciding what you want to do with life, I'm sure people have told you to make sure you have something to fall back on. Make sure you got something to fall back on, honey. But I never understood that concept, having something to fall back on. If I'm going to fall, I don't want to fall back on anything except my faith. I want to fall forward. I figure at least this way I'll see what I'm going to hit. Fall forward. This is what I mean. Reggie Jackson struck out 2,600 times in his career, the most in the history of baseball. But you don't hear about the strikeouts. People remember the home runs. Fall forward. Thomas Edison conducted 1,000 failed experiments. Did you know that? I didn't know that. Because the 1,001st was the light bulb. Fall forward. Every failed experiment is one step closer to success. You've got to take risks, and I'm sure you've probably heard that before.
What one man can do, another can do. And that is the truth. If you look around and you see all these people building these marketing agencies, there is zero reason that you can't do the same. We see all these people climb Mount Everest. You can do the same. We see all these people run marathons. You could do the same. We see all these people build amazing companies. You could do the same. What's possible for one human is possible for another human.